Hey guys, I'm Shubham Bhatt and welcome back to my channel. Today, I've got something special for all the white players out there. A mind-blowing attacking opening called the Evans Gambit. This opening is full of wild tricks, deadly traps, and powerful ideas that can crush your opponent in just a few moves. So make sure you watch till the end, because once you learn this, your opponents won't know what hit them. Let's dive right in. Alright guys, let's get straight into the Evans Gambit, one of the most exciting attacking openings for white. We begin with the Italian game, pawn to e4, pawn to e5, knight f3, knight c6, and now we bring out our bishops, entering the Gioco piano. But here comes the magic. The Evans Gambit starts with the move b4. Yes, we are sacrificing a pawn to open lines and launch a deadly attack. Now black has a few choices. He can capture with the bishop, take with the knight, or simply decline the gambit and move his bishop away. But the most common and probably the best move for black is to accept. Bishop takes b4. That's exactly what we want, because now we strike back with pawn to c3, attacking the bishop and grabbing control of the center. Black is forced to retreat. Taking the bishop back to f8 makes no sense, and bishop d6 blocks his own pawn. Not ideal either. So, the three realistic moves are bishop e7, bishop a5, or bishop c5. Let's start with bishop e7. Now we play pawn to d4, blasting open the center. If black captures, we take back. And even though we are still a pawn down, look at our position. We've got full control of the center. Our pieces are active and we are just one move away from castling. From here, we can target the weak f7 square by bringing our queen and knight into the attack. So even though we sacrificed a pawn, we've gained a dominant position and powerful attacking chances. Going back, if black plays d6 to support this pawn, then we play queen b3, eyeing down this weak f7 square. Now if knight a5, then we simply take with our bishop. It's a check. He can't go to d7 because knight e5 check, d takes on e5, and then queen e6 would be a checkmate. So he will have to move his king to f8. But then we have this beautiful move, queen a4. And even if king takes, we can take his knight. And if you see now, the material is even, the black king is out in the open, he can't castle, we are ahead in development, so this should be a good game for you. Now let's go back for a second. Suppose in this position, black tries something tricky like knight to h6, defending that weak f7 pawn. Well, that doesn't really work because we can simply eliminate the defender. We capture on h6 and after black recaptures with the pawn, we strike immediately with bishop to f7. Check. Now if the king steps to d7, it's game over. Queen e6 is a beautiful checkmate. And if instead the king goes to f8, no worries. We calmly bring our bishop back to h5. And now we are threatening mate on the very next move. It's almost impossible for black to defend from here. This is the true attacking spirit of the Evans Gambit. Sacrifice, attack, and dominate right from the opening. Alright, going back, we just saw what happens when black retreats his bishop to e7. Now let's talk about the most common move you'll face, bishop to a5. And trust me, this line is packed with some really nasty traps. But before we continue, are you enjoying the video so far? If yes, make sure to hit that like button right now. It really motivates me to bring you even more high-quality chess content videos. Alright, back to the board. So after bishop a5, we push pawn to d4, striking right at the center. If black plays d6, no problem. Just go queen to b3 and continue with the same attacking ideas we discussed earlier. But if he captures with the pawn, things get spicy. First, we castle. because that bishop on a5 is pinning our pawn to the king. Now, if black gets greedy and takes another pawn, which most players will, they are walking straight into danger. After pawn takes on c3, we again go queen to b3. Now black has to stop that deadly f7 check. So he's got two choices, queen f6 or queen e7. Most players choose queen f6 since it also defends the c3 pawn. But here's where we hit back. Pawn to e5. We attack the queen, and if knight takes, then rook e1, pinning the knight to the king. Brutal. And if he tries to defend with d6, we go queen a4 check, and just like that, his bishop is gone. One small mistake and the entire position collapses. That's the power of precision in the Evans Gambit. Fast, sharp, and deadly. Okay, let's rewind a bit and look at the other option. Queen to e7 in this position. Here, black is basically saying, alright, take the pawn, I don't care. So of course, we take it with our knight. Now, you can expect knight to f6. A natural developing move that also opens up the path for the king to castle. But remember, our goal in the Evans Gambit is simple. Don't let black castle. So we immediately jump in with knight to d5, attacking the queen and keeping up the pressure. If black decides to capture our knight, no problem. We recapture with the pawn, and that's actually better than taking with the bishop. Why? Because this pawn push doesn't just threaten the knight. It also opens up a deadly file for our rook to attack the king. Now, the knight will have to move. And if it dares to go to b4, that's a complete disaster for black. Because then we play rook to e1 and the queen is gone. Going back, if he moves his knight to e5, then knight takes, queen takes, and then we have this bishop b2 move to attack this queen and even the pawn behind it. If he plays queen g5 to support this pawn, then our strategy would be to first stop black from castling by playing queen a3. We will also look to push this queen out of this g5 square by playing h4. And at some point, we will launch our attack by bringing our rooks along this open line. As you can imagine, these guys are going to be mere spectators throughout the game, and it's just a matter of time before you finish off black. Okay, now let's go back again. We just saw how you can absolutely destroy black if he takes on c3. But what if he plays some other move like bishop to b6 or d6 or even knight to f6? Well, your strategy is going to be simple. You will look to take back this pawn. Your queen will soon be out on b3 to attack f7. You will have to prevent black from castling by playing moves like bishop a3 or queen a3. These knights should also be moving closer to the king like this. And ultimately, you will have to open up the game and attack with your rooks along the e-file. If you follow these ideas, you should be able to harass black throughout the game. Alright, let's go back once again. We've already seen what happens after bishop e7 and bishop a5. But now, let's check out the third and final option, bishop to c5. But before we move on, just a quick reminder. If you haven't subscribed yet, then hit that big red subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming chess traps and opening secrets. Okay, so after bishop c5, we continue with our classic Evans Gambit move, pawn to d4. Now, e takes d4 is pretty much forced and we recapture with c takes d4. And now look at this. Black's bishop has to move again. If it goes back to b6, we are seeing a pattern here. Black is losing time and falling behind in development. Meanwhile, we are developing like a machine. We can bring our queen into the game, castle kingside safely, our knight jumps to c3, and our bishop is ready to launch depending on the position. We've got everything. strong center control, active pieces, and complete development advantage. So even though we sacrificed a pawn, we've got more than enough compensation. Going back, if you are wondering what happens if black takes with his knight, then let me show it to you quickly. After knight takes on b4, we play c3. Please do not take this pawn on e5 because queen f6 and queen g5 can lead to some really nasty threats and double attacks. So here, after pawn c3, the black knight will have to retreat back to c6. Then we can castle as usual and push this pawn on d4. Taking with the knight is generally not a good move because black simply loses a move which helps white in development. So that's how you can completely crush your opponents or get a strong attacking position using the Evans Gambit. That's all for today, guys. Learn this opening well and start destroying black right from move 4. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. This is Shubham Bhatt from Chess Shot Trap and I'll see you in the next one.